All right, so we have learned, and one of the big things throughout Unit 3 is connecting fractions with division, okay, and thinking about what's going on in the problem and what is being split up, because what is being split up is usually your dividend, which is your first number in a division problem, and how it's being split, which is usually your divisor, which is that second number in your division problem. So let's try this first one here. Davida brought 6 granola bars for herself and 7 other girls in her camp group for a snack. If they share them equally, what fraction of a granola bar will each girl get? So I need to think to myself, how would I solve this problem? And sharing equally is usually a clue that we're going to use division. So I need to think, what is Davida doing in this problem? Well, she has 6 granola bars and she wants to share them with herself and 7 other girls. So since she's getting one, she wants to share with 8 people. So she's going to take these 6 granola bars, and I can represent the granola bars by just simply drawing 6 granola bars, and I'll use rectangles to represent the granola bars. And what is she doing with these granola bars? Well, she's splitting them up equally with herself and 7 other girls. So if she's included, there's going to be 8 girls that she's going to be splitting these up into. So then I need to split each of these into 8 equal parts. So there's 1 granola bar in 8 equal parts. And the way I usually, I'll show you the next one I do, but so you make sure we have 8 relatively equal parts here. And how I get 8 equal parts is I usually split 1 in half, then in half again to get fourths, and then I split each of those fourths into half again to get 8. That wasn't very good, but. And you want to try to get these, we're dealing with fractions here, so we want to get equal sized pieces. With my mouse, this makes it a little bit more challenging. With paper and pencil, I would try to make this a little bit more equal. But anyway, I can see that I have my 6 granola bars, and they're all broken up into 8 equal pieces. And now, I need to think, okay, well, if Davida wants one, well, she can get 1/8 of this. So she can get 1/8 of that bar. She could get 1/8 of that bar. She could get 1/8 of that bar. Davida could get another 1/8 of that bar. And she could get 1/8 of that bar. And Davida could get another 1/8 of that bar. Okay? So if I look, Davida got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths. 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. So let's think about what we did and put it in a division number model right here. So Davida had 6 granola bars, and she split those equally. She divided those granola bars into 8 equal pieces because she had 8 girls to share them with. So 6 divided by 8 gets me, well, I have 6 1/8 pieces. So she got 6/8 of a granola bar. And in class, we started to understand in that relationship that, hey, this is my dividend, okay? So that number out front is my dividend. That's how something's being split up, is always my numerator. And how I'm splitting it, I'm splitting it into 8 equal pieces, is always my denominator. It takes 8 equal pieces to get to 1 whole granola bar in this case. So 6 divided by 8 simply equals 6/8. So if I know the number model, 6 divided by 8, I don't even need to draw this picture if I understand the relationship that the dividend is my numerator and the divisor is my denominator. So 6 divided by 8 equals 6/8. So let's look at this one. This last one's a little bit different, but the same idea. Miss Cox is combining bottles of hand sanitizer. She has 11 small bottles of sanitizer she wants to divide equally among 3 large containers. How many small bottles should she empty into each large container? Okay. Well, again, I need to think about what am I splitting up? She has 11 small bottles. She wants to divide equally among 3 large containers. So in this case, she's splitting up the 11. And how is she doing it? Well, she wants to put them equally into 3 larger containers. So she's doing 11 divided by 3 here. So I could draw a picture to represent this, or if I know my pattern, I know 11 divided by 3 is the same thing as 11 thirds. Because my dividend, my number out front, always becomes the numerator of my fraction, and my divisor always becomes my denominator. So I'm really doing 11 thirds, or 11, fraction bar means division, 11 divided by 3. And I could just make that a mixed number by dividing, okay? Again, think, how many times can I put 3 into 11? Well, I know it at least goes into it 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, and 11 minus 9, here's 2. So 3 and 2/3, okay, small bottles she could put into one large container. So we can report my remainders of fraction. I have 3 and 2/3. So my number model again could be 11 divided by 3, and that equals 11 thirds, or we know I can make 3 wholes and have 2/3 of another one. Okay, so that's one way to kind of think about the relationship between fractions and division when dealing with some word problems like this, especially if our answer is like numbers 1 or 2 and we end up getting a fractional answer. Okay.